Overwhelm can take over so much in our life, in our business, in our relationships, within our family. It can take over in aspects in our life that we don't even recognize where it actually comes from. Overwhelm in your business, if you're an entrepreneur and you have got all these things that you've got on your to-do list. You have to start doing the marketing, social media, start getting yourself out there, doing sales, doing appointments. Making even that phone call to make an appointment becomes overwhelming because you have to actually put yourself out there. You are the product or you're selling a product. It becomes overwhelming. The whole focus and being clear on your product, on you, on what you're selling, becomes so distorted because of this overwhelm. And then you end up doing nothing. In relationships, overwhelm happens because you don't know whether you are making the right decision to be with a person. Is it the right decision for you to even continue a relationship? Do you love them? Do you care for them enough to be with them? Overwhelm happens in the family. You've got children running around, their expectations of what you need to do, what expectations you have on yourself to get the family organized, to get to school, to get to work. Overwhelm happens every part of our life, in every aspect of our life, if you let it. If you let that overwhelm take over, then nothing gets done. Then you're not clear about where your direction is. You become distracted about getting things done or what you have to focus on. And when that happens, you throw your hands in the air and you forget it and you put it off. You say, I don't want to do it today. I'll do it tomorrow when I'm clear, when I know what I'm doing, when I've got all my ducks aligned. But sometimes you don't need to get the ducks in a line. You actually just have to take action. You just have to do one thing, one step. Taking that step becomes a momentum. When you're in overwhelm, you don't know where it comes from. You don't know why it happens. You get frustrated. And so with this frustration, you just get confused. Let me tell you, there is no way you're going to know on a conscious level because our mind is so smart. It is so protective of us that it will shut off. It will give you another interpretation to cover up that pain for wherever it came from. And let me tell you, it usually happens in childhood traumas. Even though you think you might have had a perfect upbringing, perfect parents, perfect everything, or even in the scenario where you had a traumatic childhood, those formative years can trigger your adulthood and then cause overwhelm, then cause confusion, because that's what you saw. That was what the reaction was when you were 5, 3. Even if you think on a conscious level that it could not be, well, how will you know? How will you know if it isn't just a conscious thought? Getting into the depths and getting into the raw truth means that you have to actually make a step to find out. Because if you don't, this overwhelm takes over your life. You actually doubt yourself. You don't know if you're doing anything right. Overwhelm becomes a perpetual domino effect on making decisions. It doesn't give you clarity. It causes doubt. It causes shame. It can cause guilt. There are so many scenarios of just that feeling of overwhelm. if you really want to find out the truth within yourself, make the step. I know when I've done sessions, even just stretching people, and they're anxious about even just having somebody touch their body to stretch them. What is the underlying issue there? And so before I even get them on the table, it's having a raw conversation and asking some questions. And that is really the beauty of having this conversation, the hypnotherapy conversation, because you can't draw the line across the sand of saying, well, you actually are okay. Let's just get you on the table and see where we go. Because that anxiety causes stress in the body, the tension begins to build, and you don't relax. So here's the thing about fascia. Fascia holds emotions, and I've said this before. I've actually had a video about what fascia is all about and where it holds in your body. Where it holds in your body is where you feel pain. If you're feeling back pain, if you have muscle soreness, if you have a pain that can't even be recognized by a doctor, by x-rays, you just cannot get the answers from a medical professional. And so you're stuck with this pain that you don't know why it's there. Pain is giving you a nudge. It is telling you emotionally, you've got to sort your shit out in your head, because this here, the reaction in your body, is holding something. Fascia is so good that it retains emotional memories. If you've ever seen what fascia looks like, it is like a web. It is a web encasing ligaments, muscles, bones, tissue. And so when that is all wrapped around your body, holding everything together, it also holds it together so tightly, again, because our body and mind so bloody protective and so smart, that it will hold the tension. It will cause your body to react to an emotional feeling, an emotional issue. You feeling this means that you really need to find out what the root cause is, what it is that's holding you back. And I've had clients come on the table having pain in their back, in their neck, on their shoulders. And then when they've come off, after me just having a conversation, me asking them questions to reflect back on a situation that they didn't even know was even in their forefront of their mind, that memory had just presented itself. Because when that memory presents itself to you in your mind's eye, it's telling you that's the problem. Deal with it, look at it, reflect on it, learn from it. What was that experience meaning? Because you have to understand that these experiences that causes these triggers, whether it's emotional or physical, means that you need to deal with it so that you can move on from overwhelm, move on from anxiety, move on from being stuck in your life.